Don't say that. No.
Back to the historical room.
Yeah.
Definitely the whole murder.
All right, meeting come to order at 6:35, 6:36, I believe it is. And I'm looking for a motion to approve and sign last month's meetings. Who seconded? We, minutes, all those in favor? So, okay, looking for a motion to approve and sign the warrant. This October 23rd, 2018 warrant. I'll make a motion to sign the warrant. Second. All those in favor? Payroll warrant.
You have done it. If I lay down my belly, yeah, right.
Done? Okay. Let's go. Community Center use puppetry on Friday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Are they here, Danielle?
What's that, I'm sorry?
The puppetry people?
No.
Okay, so we can bypass that?
Yep.
Scholarships on old business. We've got some scholarship applications here. I thought we ought to open them up tonight just to take a look. Was there a deadline on when they needed to be awarded?
It's gotta be after the first semester.
Right, so they wouldn't apply till after the first semester anyway, right? But do we have a deadline before we have to award whoever? Okay, so do we want to open it?
Yes.
Why don't we do it? Officially award them if we need to. Because I think they're only,
I don't know how much is in the account right now.
they don't, there's one from Emma Ridley for Baldwin School Fund, one for Emma Ridley for WMPW, Olivia Ridley and Olivia Ridley for the same WMPW and Baldwin School Fund. So maybe I can ask the question again. You know, this is to do with their cost is on board. Well, we don't get any other competition anyway.
No, we just got to decide how much money we got, it's available.
It's, maybe we should open one to see how much they're asking for.
What do we do? This one's higher than it.
Is it?
$7,000.
So basically, we're gonna do this. That's on each account, award so much. So that's what we did on the side. Okay.
Yeah. I think these kids, some of these kids got it last year too.
So that's something else we're checking in.
Well, this real university, they are by boy, university, no, the girls at University of Farmington. So I remember that, they last year.
Yeah. So, what's her grade point?
She's by four too. This one was valedictorian. So I can go high school. Same little way out, the other one's.
So, I'll make a motion, we table this, we find out what's in this account and how much we're gonna award, and then we'll go from there. All right, all those in favor?
Back, so we got.
Okay, so we'll table the scholarships for now. ECO discussion with Standish during the workshop on October 16th. Standish has approached us about, going in with them on an ECO, and we decided we thought we could afford 10 hours a week. And, talked with Rob tonight, at the fire scene that we had today, and he seemed fine with that. Anything at this point, so we'll try to keep it.
Get started.
Yeah, so do we wanna make a motion and vote on that to, do that?
You can't go over it.
Yeah, we don't bite. ACO, Animal Control Officer. And, we've been, as time marches on here, we've had more of a call for that, and there's some licensing issues that need to be addressed on top of that. So, the ACO that we have is very good right now. He's very conscientious, he does a good job, when he's called, he's there, he doesn't make people aggravated, he goes and does his job, and, does what he has to do. And Standish hired him on, they couldn't hire him full-time, but they hired him probably 3/4 of the time, and they wanted to know if we could go in, that way they could give him full-time status. So, it looks like 10 hours will do the trick. And I think from what Debbie's records have got and what his records, that's probably about what he's been working anyway.
Yeah.
So,
It gives us an 80-20 split.
yeah,
We pay 20%, Standish pays 80%.
yeah. And they've got all the equipment, a van, cages, whatever he needs to do to work with, you don't have to go up with that, so.
You're getting more as far as the fire department and things like that go out of it.
Yeah, that was discussed, and that's quite a possibility. So, yeah, there's more benefits there down the road, I think, as time goes on. But this, if we do this 10-hour deal right now, that will hopefully entice him to stay here and not go somewhere else, between the two towns. That's, they want him to stay, and we do too, so. So I guess I'd be looking at a motion to do that, one way or the other.
Yeah, I make a motion, we put him on for 10 hours a week.
Okay, move second, we put them on 10 hours a week, all those in favor? Vote.
What are you gonna pay him? We paying him the increase?
Yeah. What have we discussed? 16. Yeah.
$16 an hour?
Yeah.
They originally asked for 20 hours a week. If Standish should pick up the rest of that, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, they seem to be that they would, so. All right, Public Works, full-time position. Brian, maybe you can shed a little light on that for us.
Well, we've had an ad in for 2-3 weeks, and we haven't got a call. It's getting hard to get people that want to plow snow and even work for a living full-time, so. We was approved with our budget a year or two ago, or maybe further, on a full-time, extra full-time
Yeah,
guy.
we had a full-time.
And we've tried, and they didn't work out for other reasons, and it's the only way I see that we're gonna have anybody credible to do this position with us.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have the part-time guys you can call when you need them, but they're not out there. Leamington runs an ad almost all winter for the same thing. Brownfield does off and on. Sebago's looking for one. My opinion right now, we'd be lucky if we could fill a full-time position that way. Nobody wants to do this anymore.
But we don't take an advertise, we won't know what we.
We've gotta try.
I make a motion, we advertise for one.
Yeah, okay, all those in favor? Vote. Danielle, can you see that ad goes in first of the week for full-time position?
What are we saying about summer?
Same thing, right around.
Same thing like,
Yeah, part of his job will be
Explain it to them
cemeteries and,
when he gets here.
yeah.
being retired, TBD.
Anybody can do it, yeah.
Just work full time, please.
Yeah.
And that the mowing hasn't been every single day either,
No,
This summer, Ronnie and Jake 2 days, they were done with the big ones, and that was it, you know?
We're about $2,800 under mowing cemeteries this year than what we was the year before. And one of the reasons it is there's a difference in the price of the two employees.
Yeah.
But the cemeteries look good, they've done a good job. If we don't think they look good, go look at Steve Paul Cemetery.
A lot of them around, don't. Some of the townspeople mow their own spots in some places, you know, so we're fortunate to have that. Ronnie will not do it again. He's helped.
He's done.
He barely could do it.
Is he gonna help you any this winter with spare driver at all, if you need it? No. Good, he's probably up to that point, you know. Okay.
He did a good job on the cemeteries this
Yes, he did.
summer.
I think there's two that they didn't do with the old ones, because there were so many trees that had blown down that it was just too much for them. They did get all the rest of them, at least once, you know. Like Wentworth, they usually do that, how many times, you know, 3, 4, 5 times. That grows, you know, some of them grow more, but.
Alright, so we'll put an ad in and see what happens. Alright, Danielle, can you do the community center update?
Yep, it's the same, Uber on Tuesday still. Senior luncheon is Thursday at 12. Got that place organized and ready to go. Tai Chi is almost done. The 30th is the last class for Tuesdays, and then they'll finish up the next Thursday, November 2nd or something. I got a call today. I haven't called her back yet, but I will tomorrow. There's an interest of renting a classroom to teach essential oil classes, and she's looking for a monthly basis. I'll call her back.
Alright. Reminders, October 25th, planning board meeting at 7 p.m. And I'm gonna make a motion at this point that we go into executive session, pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056E, with board of selectmen to consult with town attorney. He is in the other room, so we've gotta do that. Making a motion that we do that. Second. Move said we go into executive session. We will be back in a few minutes. Yeah, I'll do it. I don't know where it is.
I got traffic lights. Thank you. Oh, boy. Yep. Sorry, I'm glad it's sounds like that's only got one applicant anyway, so, yeah. Which is, yeah. Such a funny thing anyway, that, I mean, Kelly got all kinds of scholarships for $100, $2,000, blah, blah, blah. And took it all away from the grant, and she got it instead. See, mine didn't attract. Yeah, yeah.
Pretty more right now, yeah.
Where did it get more?
Summer I was going under for camp.
Yep. I'm going to get back into everything. Get up there, I come back, stick it under my chair, take a little something. Wow. Finance is the third one I like every year.
So Brian, who do you have for spare plow guy?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Looking for some extra money first?
Oh, God, no.
We could sell
I
it.
can wreck that truck real quick.
If
I don't wreck the truck, I'll at least wreck everybody's mailbox.
Well, that's it. I'm gonna take the job, but I'm gonna sell mailboxes on the side.
I mean, you gotta have a spare going into the winter, don't you? Wow.
We had Jason helped us last year in the big storms.
Wow.
He don't wanna do it no more.
That'd be fun.
Plow snow in the burn.
It's an emergency, so you really don't have to during the storm. It's, I've asked if during the summer, and nobody.
Yeah,
You know, like John saying, some of the retired guys used to do it,
yeah.
but.
Nobody's retiring anymore?
When they do, they retire, you know, like Frankie Rich or some of the guys that work for the state, they don't look and look. You know, and I don't blame it, they done it 20, 30 some years, I don't blame them, you know, enough's enough.
Every town's got problems.
Every town's having trouble.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Cause I don't know who's gonna do it. It
We'll
seems
start
like,
rolling again.
seems like young folks don't wanna do that.
Can't
don't
blame
wanna-
people for not wanting to do it.
People don't wanna be plumbers, electricians, snowplow drivers.
You know, and it's hard because you call them at, like right now, we gotta go out, you know, and you go all night, and most of the day, maybe into the next day, and then they go home, they don't get overtime,
Yeah.
but they've worked 25 hours straight,
Yeah.
and then you don't call them for a week or two, or maybe next week. And guys that are on unemployment, they're not gonna jeopardize their steady, guaranteed money, and I don't blame them, you know, I mean, boy, it's really gotten hard.
They don't get time and a half after 10 hours?
Well, that's something we've discussed, is like George Davis has helped us. And it was always straight time, which ain't fair, you know.
Well, I think under federal law, you gotta get time and a half after 10 hours, don't you?
Yeah, so.
Does that mean we did it?
We haven't done it, but we've got to, you know. To get George back, I have to, then I don't mind, I mean, it's right, it's fair, you know. And George, his help, there's some nights he went out and sat in the truck and slept for 2 hours just so he could finish.
Yeah.
He was ready to pass out, he didn't feel good, you know.
No, it's tough, those big storms, it's tough work.
So I don't know how much we can depend on him on, you know, a little stuff is fine, but.
How much do those big snow blowers they have at the airport cost? That whole, you know, it's the whole front of the truck is a snow blower.
Hell no.
That looks like that'd be a hell of a lot of fun.
Work good, wouldn't it?
I would think so.
You could
McLean's
get one
got
of the
a bunch
mailboxes
of
with one of those.
You blow windows out later.
Oh, yeah, you can put them right into the backyard.
Probably Mini Coopers could get stuck right up in there.
How would you know? I always thought that'd be fun to try driving one of those, just to see what it's like.
I took a bucket loader up to Presque Isle a couple weeks ago and delivered it. And at their public works department, there's a great big Oshkosh truck. And that snow plow, that snow blower is almost the size of this room high, sitting up there, yeah.
Now, does it look like they use it?
Oh, yeah, I think they do at times. There's some, certain places up there
Oh, yeah, it's drift.
that, yeah.
I've been up quite a bit in the winter, and I have not seen what looked like evidence of one on the road,
Yeah.
because I mean, you'd see the blow out in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't have snowbanks.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool.
I don't have snowbanks, but I use the snowblower.
Yeah.
I volunteer to help, but I took out my own mailbox last week. That's not a good recommendation. I had to call Ricky Day twice for help. I don't know where you were. You were probably out eating sushi somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's tough.
So how many drivers do you have?
Just me and Tony right now.
Oh, geez, yeah.
So last year when we had, well, up till almost December 1st, it was just the two of us on every storm.
Break your ankle or something, you're screwed.
You know, it
Could happen.
You can't do a big storm with 2 guys, can you? You know, like a
No way.
15-incher, no way you can do that, right?
well, each truck has about 10 miles of road, or 11. That's one way.
Yeah.
And it takes you about 3.5 hours to do a round.
Yeah.
And if it's snowing 2 or 3 hours, inches an hour,
Yeah.
it's 6, 7, 8 inches before you get to come back around again. It's too much, you know. Now, when I was a kid in Baldwin, the plow come the day after maybe.
Yeah.
And everybody had rear-wheel drive cars and trucks. But nobody worked second or third shifts. Now they work all hours of the day and night and
Yeah. People are out in 113.
constant. You wouldn't believe some nights with the traffic you meet.
Yeah.
The demand is just so much.
Plus, people don't seem to stay at home like they used to.
No.
Usually, big storm people stay at home. Now people think, well, I'm entitled to go out and do whatever I want.
My brother plows CM Brown over there, and 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you wouldn't believe the people that come in.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Get another suitcase.
For the rest of the night.
Well, you know.
As a kid, my father never bought snow tires. We'd come to a hill or something, he'd look at it, okay, boys, three of us boys, we'd hop out, get in the trunk of the car, put it on the rear axle, we made it up the hill. Yes, they taught you real nice. I mean, we thought nothing of it.
You loved it.
Because that's back when they had trunk, you could put something.
Yeah, that's right. It would fit 3 boys, yeah.
Not nothing of it.
Yeah, it's getting hard. It's hard on me. I honestly don't want to do it anymore, to tell you the truth. I really don't.
Pray for global warming.
Yeah. I pray that ticket I get tonight's a winner.
You think?
You bet you won't see me again.
Oh, don't say.
I'm leaving for good.
If he wins, none of us is getting out all winter.
I'll even buy the town a new truck.
There you go.
You bet.
Hell, get them one of them. Snowball.
Yeah, whatever they want.
Painted whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
With your picture on it.
They can do it if they want. Yeah.
So what kind of ticket you're gonna get, and it's a state cop that's gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
I didn't buy a ticket. My
I
tickets
haven't
are about
either.
the same as
No.
yours.
I bought them last week too, a couple times, but that's
I
it.
didn't see the name in the paper.
No.
Not yet.
I did win a cooler 2 weeks ago up to Town and Country Polaris up there.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But it's getting to be winter, you don't need one now.
No, that's right, but where I end up, I might. Yeah.
Carol had a gathering of people from the laboratory at the hospital. And just for fun, she bought 25 megabucks tickets.
Yeah.
Put them all in a bowl. Everybody takes tickets. Nobody, not even won $2.
Oh.
Yep.
There's the lottery.
Yeah.
But they had a fun party,
Oh,
right?
yeah. They had a good time. You know, it would have been nice if somebody got, $50.
Sure.
Well, I came close to winning once. When I first came out, I bought 6 tickets and didn't have a single number. I said, I'd never do it again. 6
Wow.
months later, it was up to $3 million. I had 5 numbers.
Wow.
Yeah, I should have had a 14. I had 11. I
Oh.
won $1,000.
Ah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
That's good.
So now it's $30,000 getting 5 numbers.
Oh.
Did you learn your lesson?
No,
No.
I play 2 or 3 times a year when it gets up to 3 or 4 million.
Yeah, when it hits $1 billion, I think everybody should play.
I wasn't going to, but she bought me a ticket.
I'm not sure Bangor Savings Bank would take the deposit.
I bet Citibank would.
Yeah.
Or Bank of America.
I wonder how much they have in their whole damn bank deposit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, they take it all.
Yeah, probably.
Hopefully there's more than one winner. Hopefully there's a whole bunch of them, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One place I worked, everybody on the shop floor was pooling, and they were buying a whole bunch of tickets every week. Well, the boss got word of it, he wasn't included. And, he figured out that if they hit it big, it would clean out the shop and basically shut down production. So he issued a rule that they couldn't do it on company property, so, you know, it was done, but.
A lot of friends, I think.
Right, so.
DNA. Yeah.
Cynical there, cynical, are you? Long lost cousins coming out of my
No, yeah.
No, that's a problem.
What they say about the border on the news tonight, did anybody hear about that?
Mexican border?
Yeah.
They're still quite a few hundred miles away.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're saying they're doing 20 miles a day. They got pictures.
That's tough walking, 20 miles a day.
Yes, it is, and then you gotta do it tomorrow or the next day.
That's
And
what
they
I
got
mean,
little
yeah.
kids like this.
I don't think they're doing 20 miles.
No, well, I think they're getting bused or something too.
20 miles I could do in a day, but,
Not tomorrow.
yeah, but by day 3 or 4, forget it.
Yeah.
I'm lying down and sleeping.
Yeah. It's like, okay, walk the stage.
Yeah. No, I could do it.
Yeah.
I used to be able to, I'll put it that way.
You remember those days?
I remember them clearly.
Kyle said that today it's on fire.
Oh, hey, that's, we do quite well.
What?
Us, everybody hates us, I don't hate us.
Well,
So everybody in foreign countries likes to hate on us.
I was down in Dominican Republic during the first Bush administration, and there on the wall in Spanish it said, "Bush, go home," and somebody had written, "and take me with you."
Why did you go to the Dominican Republic?
I did business down there.
Oh.
No, it's good business.
Okay.
They paid the bills
Okay.
eventually.
Pesos.
Well, the supersonic gizmo made things that scare everything out of the house home and beyond came today.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Let us know how it works.
I will. Well, of course, it says that it might take a few days for the mice
Okay,
to
yeah.
actually move,
Yeah.
but new ones won't come in, and it's guaranteed to get squirrels out of the attic walls too.
Wow.
That's what it says.
Something
It's
send
called
out sandwich?
Gizmo Mate, and I got it, I researched them on Amazon,
Yeah.
and,
People
they're
like that.
guaranteed to work, yeah. They got like 5-star ratings, so we'll see.
Is it through sound, is that what it is?
Yeah,
Sound that only they can hear?
Ultrasonic.
but it's been redesigned, so there are 3 different frequencies, so they don't get used to one and then
Oh,
live
okay.
there comfortably anyway.
Is there a frequency for guests who are staying too?
No, that's when
Family
you run out of
only.
toilet paper. The toilet paper roll runs out, so it's good to get.
Only adult children that move in.
Yeah, that too. We'll see, I don't know, I'm been catching mice right and left.
Oh, yeah. chipmunks are actually, it's about over a million. Over 50 so far.
That's amazing, Josiah.
Chipmunk coat before you're done. Keep them all together.
Not much left after 410 gets out.
My cats have been getting a lot of chipmunks.
Yeah, they can't get squirrels though.
No, they can't.
I got
And
squirrels all over.
I'm hoping this works because they have parties at night
Yeah.
up in the
Oh,
attic.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm afraid to put stainless steel or any of the other stuff to block up the hole where I know they're getting in, because I'm afraid we're gonna blast them in. Rather than,
Yeah, it's hard to keep them out anyway.
yeah,
They'll just chew a new hole somewhere.
jerks.
What, Gizmo?
Gizmo Mate, I think is the company, yeah.
Doesn't say Acme on the box anyway.
The boxes are nice, it looks like an iPhone case, and it's really heavy duty, the kind of boxes you don't throw away, you have a closet.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Wiley Coyote try that once?
Yeah.
Gizmo Mate.
That's been a concern, because I haven't heard anything in the walls lately with that.
Where'd they go? They're breeding.
Maybe the snake ate them all.
Oh, that could be, yeah. I used to have great snakes in the cellar.
I have them in bookcases.
Oh, dear. I don't mind them in the cellar, because they can't get in the house. Yeah. Haven't seen any in the house, let's put it that way. Yeah, there was a big shed snakeskin on the floor.
Yeah.
And furnace guy came.
Yeah.
And he brought his wife with him, and they walked in, and she started screaming her head off, because she saw the snakeskin. She said, there are snakes in here. And he said, I would assume so. And he said, you should have told me, because she's definitely afraid of them.
How would you know?
I didn't know, I hadn't seen it. I gave it to the Boy Scouts. They thought they had a great prize.
My neighbor's house down the road, Billings' house, years ago, they renovated, it was like an attic area over the kitchen. Pulled apart old walls so they could shim things up, sheetrock and all that. Craig Kingsley did it, and I can't remember whether he said it was 10 or a dozen, good-sized snakeskin shed in the second floor wall. They're all through that house.
Yeah, that was George Stevens' house.
Yeah, yeah.
And he wouldn't have cared.
He was a good fella.
He was.
I was in the hospital with him when I was a young kid.
Yeah.
I remember saying, okay, George, we'll see you back in Baldwin.
Yeah.
And he died 3 days later.
Oh.
Yeah. I sent him a card when I got home, and they sent it back. I never really, ride our bikes up by, and I knew, but we had the same room.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Yes, he was, yeah.
Kind, he was very kind.
Yep. Paulie Ridlin up there, we used to pass him on our bicycles in his car. He goes to school. So I buy it way to him again. My boys, he'd say.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Probably get better gas.
No idea. That old station wagon.
Yeah.
Clark Bush said when he was younger, that was a beautiful farm.
Oh, I imagine.
Oh, them fields and stuff, Clark said, beautiful.
Yeah, historical society has some great pictures of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Huge fields.
Oh, yeah. Clark said he passed out, Paulie, and he got him put him on the tailgate of the pickup. Clark never drove a standing before. They was way up in the field. I guess Clark come down, almost lost him off the back. Finally got him down to the house, and they took care of him. Yeah. reasonable fellas.
Carol working a lot this week?
Yeah, she's 3 nights. Last night, tonight, tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
And she's going up to county, small, for the weekend.
Going where?
I think she's leaving Friday or something like that.
To go where?
The county,
The county.
Aroostook County, Eagle Lake.
Oh, the county, okay. She's going back up again, huh? You gonna go with her?
Not this time.
No,
Give
you
her
know.
a break.
Yeah, that's probably true.
She came for a week this time, too.
So when are you leaving again?
Day after the phone rings. Yeah, she's gonna shut the house down.
Yeah.
Costs about $8,000 to heat that place with oil.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Pretty up there.
Oh, yeah. Family farms right on Eagle Lake, both sides of the road.
That's nice of her.
You gotta bring your own money.
Yeah.
I'd love to go up with her sometime.
Probably be arranged.
Yeah, I thought maybe you could. I've never been up there.
Beautiful country up there.
How far in Maine have you been?
Oh, Rumford? Well, no, actually,
Bangor,
Pembroke.
have you been to Bangor?
Oh, okay, yeah, so
Pembroke.
you've been up Washington, so you haven't been north of Maine.
I haven't been north,
Yes.
no.
It's a whole new world.
It's God's country, it really is.
Is it?
Yeah, beautiful.
No mountains though, right?
Wow.
Yeah?
Not bad.
Oh, okay. Very few people. Okay, maybe that's what you know.
Nobody under 60 up there.
Yeah.
Well, I qualify.
Yeah, high school diploma is good for about 2 hours. Yeah. Get the hell out.
Nothing to do.
Caribou High School back in the 70s was a Class A high school, competing with Portland and all the big schools.
Wow.
Class D now.
Wow.
Yeah, you drive around, you see these empty houses being used for potato barns or, you know, whatever.
Shame.
Even the kids don't pick from school anymore either, do they?
They
stopped that, haven't they?
Did they
Well,
stop?
yes,
Most of it, I think.
yes and no. They start school in the middle of August like they used to.
Yeah.
And then roughly first week in September, they have harvest break. But there's very few kids on the picker and there's nobody hardly.
It's so, oh, yeah.
There's a few, but
I
it's
thought
only
they
small.
slowed down, yeah.
But most of the schools still do harvest break.
Yeah.
You know, it's like plowing driveways in Baldwin. They didn't want to give it up, but they finally had to.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the lorry shut down. That was it.
I have a friend in Alexander who used to work on the bridge in Calais.
Yeah.
That was all, you know, that was what he could have for work.
Yeah.
He was one of those retired guys who couldn't stop.
Yeah.
He taught history in Mumford High School.
Wow.
And then he retired back home to Alexander.
Yeah.
John. I'm
John.
Very white.
John.
Yeah.
John.
You know John.
Ask
And
her
his wife Maureen.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Good time in Rupert.
guess it's up past Howell on the way, there's that one stretch of 95, you can look, you get in the middle of it, and sometimes you look in the rearview mirror, it's a long, straight stretch. You can look a mile, mile and a half behind you, mile and a half ahead,
Wow.
and it's just you.
Well, I remember, you remember going to, Wyndham on Route 35,
Yeah.
and there'd be times I wouldn't see a car from when I left Sedago Four Corners. So
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Not anymore.
No. That was not a good
Driving out
road.
of Portland in the winter, at night, you can do that all the
Yeah.
way home. Sometimes I never see it on the car all the way home.
Really, yeah.
We're working second shift.
Some of the boundary road was dirt.
Yes, and not plowed through.
I broke my shocks on that road when it was dirt. Broke a spring.
No, too young now. Not much.
Yeah, sometimes Carol gets out of the hospital midnight or 1, on a Saturday night. The only one she'll see, she'll get pulled over by cops.
In Gorham.
Yeah, you Gorham or West Gorham.
Yeah.
And they're looking for drugs, and it's because a wheel touched the painted line or something,
Yeah.
some cheesy excuse.
Yeah.
You get pulled over, and they see the stickers on it, parking stickers on the window, oh, okay, we thought, you might be drunk.
They said, where are you coming from? And I said, work. And they said, where do you work? I said, well,
Yeah.
You haven't been out partying or anything, have you? And I go, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, my shift ended 10 minutes ago, yeah, I've been out partying.
And how many years has it been since you've been partying?
Oh, yeah, quite a few.
Yeah.
Tough night when you have a cold. Really?
Yeah.
You're not there.
Getting their money's worth out of that lawyer.
I don't remember the last time I was drinking. My sinus is like a death warrant, so.
Yeah.
You really zip right along on that.
She's amazing.
Amazing.
I hate her. Everything. She does everything.
Mittens?
Yeah, like a pair of minutes.
I've been knitting mittens for all the little kids, and, this one friend, I said, does your little boy want a pair of mittens? She said he won't wear them. So I said, would you like a pair of mittens? She said, I'd love a pair. I said, I try to get all the little kids each couple pair.
I like them, but they don't grip.
No.
That's.
But they're warm.
They're warm.
Yeah.
Great. If you're out having a snowball fight, they're the best.
Yeah.
Never thought of that. I just remember ruining pair after pair on a road tow.
Oh,
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
You
Yeah.
used to put leather pounds on them for that.
Good idea.
Now, what is boiled mittens? I know they're real super
You
stiff.
make them oversized.
Yeah,
Like, would be a good wool for it, actually.
Right.
You make them oversized, and then you wash them in hot water,
Oh,
and then
shrink
soak them in ice water, back and forth until they get felted. Yeah,
okay.
they're great. The lobstermen love them.
Yeah, I remember seeing an ad in the paper for them years ago.
Yeah.
Boiled mittens.
Yeah, New England boiled mittens.
Yeah, it was like 25 years ago. I think they wanted $25, $30.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Well,
In cold weather, you want something you can wring out.
Yeah. They throw them right in the Biltmore.
Well, we used to hang on to the exhaust pipe.
Oh.
Try it out that way to warm the hands.
Yeah, that would do it. I got a pattern for a Scottish fisherman's cap. Oh, one of the ones with all the designs on it, and trinket printed it off for me, so I'm gonna do that. And I got another pattern for a tam o' shanter, different than the one I have. I've got kinds of crazy hats around for them. They did a knit one on Facebook for everybody that bought the Fisherman's Cup pattern.
Uh-huh.
And they're doing them every color you can use,
Wow.
wild rose.
I probably don't like it when fellas go into yarn shops.
Well, they don't care. A lot of men did now.
Well, Carol's mother was knitting a sweater. She wanted a round, long round knitting needle. And I can't remember, 24, 26 inches, it
Yeah.
had to be number such and such.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it up in the county. Well, there's a knitting place I go by every once in a while.
Yeah.
I stopped in and walked in the door and there's these two old ladies in there, and they go, hello? I guess they thought I was there to stick the place up.
Oh, probably.
Hi, how are you? Can I help you? I said, yeah, I'm looking for a couple of number such and such knitting needles, 24 inch. And they looked at each other like, oh shit.
He knows the language, uh-oh.
Well, come right over here. And, she pulls out some, she says, do you want metal tips or plastic tips? And I said, well, I'm not sure, which is better. What are you knitting? I said, I'm not knitting a thing. Someone's knitting a sweater and they need some needles. And she goes, oh.
What a relief.
I've got a nephew who's gay, and he, when he has to fly,
Yeah.
he does his knitting. He says he gets no problem, he's got plenty of room,
Oh, yeah.
seat and everything.
I would worry about.
Sits there and knits and.
I would worry about blue-haired grandmas, not letting them alone, because they won't always knit.
Exactly.
So I bought both the needles, because I didn't know what the hell she wanted, and I wasn't going to go back.
Yeah.
Chicken.
You might wanna take it up someday.
I don't think so.
Oh, you might.
No.
Well, the master knitters were all men at one time, the guilds.
If it paid money, men
Would still
dominated it.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. We go up to the egg show, and Carol buys a pair of alpaca socks for like $15 a pair.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like a lot for socks, but alpaca, yeah, and then you gotta knit them, and they ain't making any money.
No.
This is llama.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice and soft. Very warm.
I heard, alpaca and llama were hard to knit.
Not really, but, alpaca doesn't have any spring to it, so when you knit something out of it, it droops like crazy. It's like making something out of cotton. Eventually, you know, started with a normal cotton sweater and it ends up down around your knees because it just keeps growing.
Yeah.
Alpaca does that too.
Okay.
See? There you go.
I actually spend
Glad
quite a
I
bit
came
of alpaca.
tonight.
You
Yeah,
get
see.
If you get on Jeopardy, that may be the end of your life.
Usually I mix alpaca with something else off and knit it at all because you want it to have some. That's gonna be part of my therapy for myself, spinning,
Yeah.
because you have to go like this.
Oh.
I'm glad to get out of this boot.
I bet.
Through the hottest days in the summer, I was in a cast up to my knee, from my toes to my knee.
Oh, no, that's awful.
I had a lot of days I wanted to take a pitcher of ice water and pour it right down the middle.
Yeah.
You always take the coils off the back of an old refrigerator and wrap them right around and hook them up to that compressor. Refrigerator.
Now you tell her.
Yeah. Boy, the day that cast came off, it was a happy, happy day.
Yeah. So when did you get your operation?
28th of August.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we had all those hot weeks.
In September, I remember, yeah.
not pretty.
Yeah,
You did pretty well, though.
I did
You
okay.
really did.
I did okay.
so it's been about 6-7 weeks now.
Yeah, I've got 6 more in the week.
Did you turn on the gizmo?
That's right. Something the
Yeah,
other
that
way.
must be what it is.
It's what?
It's the firemen up there, they got the air packs and they're training them.
Oh.
What's going on with the barn in East Mulder? It seemed to stop all of a sudden.
Oh, I hope by the end of the week, but he just showed me here tonight and I heard this morning, it should be all closed in.
Oh, okay, I had driven by for a few days.
They may not be there tomorrow or next day, he said by the end of the week, the doors and the roof was coming and should be closed in.
Yep.
And the heat was in Monday morning.
That looked like there's a little bit more than just raising the opening of the doorway.
Yeah.
Like that's
No,
what we,
I would say it's the same dimension, nothing's changed.
yeah, but I mean, it's all rebuilt. Looks all rebuilt, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of, it was open sky.
Yeah.
At least we should be able to back in, I don't have to worry about hitting the mirrors and whatnot. I have somebody drive out and takes the side of the building off.
Yeah.
We better get home and rinse up hopefully in half an hour. Nothing else to watch on TV, might as well watch M1.
What's that pewter bell like?
I don't know. I thought it was a candlestick one.
Well, that's what I was wondering too, either a bell or a candlestick, or maybe a combination.
Well,
It's kind of weird to
I'll
have
find out.
a candle burning in it, and go to jingle the bell.
Yeah.
And is it a candlestick on the top?
Well, it's not a hex socket, I guess it's a candlestick. Looks like it could be one.
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything in particular.
No, get the boys nervous in the other room.
You get up too early, Mark.
Hmm?
You get up too early.
Yeah.
George Stacy pulled in with my last 2 cords of wood yesterday morning at 7 o'clock.
There you go.
I was impressed. Yeah.
Gary, I used to work at, the boss always said, an hour in the morning is worth 2 in the afternoon.
Well, it's true.
Well,
I can't get that.
Okay, we gotta wait for Dwight just a minute. Nature, calling nature there, so.
We ring the bell and you guys come back, that's pretty good.
Did you ring the bell?
We wanted to find out what it was.
hello, David. Well, I don't know everybody here, I recognize 3 or 4 of you. Probably a good thing. When do you start with Christmas trees? Day after Thanksgiving. Oh, okay. I have to run the Christmas tree sale this year. Yeah, I saw that. You actually get out, that's in, what, Cape Elizabeth. Oh, Cape Elizabeth. It's in, no, it's in South Florida. Mill Creek? Yeah. You actually get out and sell Christmas trees? I always have. All right. I can do more this year. Hopefully I can delegate. There you go. People showing up. rough on that, by the way.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yep, yep. How's class going?
Good.
Is it? How come you're not down there?
Sorry.
How come you're not down there?
That's what he years ago.
So, what is that?
Is everyone already identified on the record?
I'd have to ask Danielle if she's got everybody wrote down there or not, but, she probably does as I go around the room.
Okay, well,
I need to wait for her apparently.
I hope you can tell me or they all,
Yeah, well, I'll ask them before they speak.
Okay.
All right, I'll make a motion that we come out of executive session. Okay, we come out of executive session and we'll have public comment now. And I usually start at that side of the room, so Jason, what do you got for us tonight? Anything?
I got nothing.
You got nothing? How are we doing on the building?
I got an update tonight, going back tomorrow, it's gonna be there till it's done.
Okay.
We're still waiting for some
Roofing?
roofing, some, PMPs, got power restored to the building. Things like that, so
Okay.
it'll be there tomorrow morning.
Good. So we like to hear.
Other than that.
Where are the trucks, by the way?
North Ball.
North Baldwin, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's his boy's truck outside.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to drive three of them. I don't know which one to take when I go up.
I see you fly by the house. All right, Bruce, you got anything? No. Okay. Kurt?
Sunday morning, I learned that there was a commercial event going on in Baldwin, that I hadn't heard about. And, I received confirmation through my ears from about late morning to mid-afternoon that there was in fact a commercial event going on. Apparently something called Watercross. I also found out from Facebook and a website, that it's the Northeast Watercross Championship crew that had an event up in Nature's Wilderness, charging $15 for people. Website showed, a lot of pictures, snowmobiles everywhere, huge trailers, people out doing watercross stuff, which apparently involves what people try to do in the winter, skimming their snowmobile across, water. Probably smarter to do it this time of the year. I was, on the website and the Facebook indicates that this is a new venue for this and that there will be, races to come in future years. And the Facebook page also says, nothing but support from the town. So, given that that's not, as far as I'm aware, I must admit, I did not go back and look at our ordinance, but I assume that's not a permitted use in the rural district. And I'm not aware of any conditional use permits that allow that. So my question is, what are they referring to about support from the town?
I'm not sure how to answer that question right at the moment. We are working with Nature Wilderness right now, but nothing's been finalized.
I mean, did they come and ask permission to do this, or they just do it?
I think they talked to the code enforcement officer.
Okay. And what were they told?
Wes, can you address that?
I was approached probably a month and a half ago and, was explained that a group from New Hampshire was going to come over, to board a skinny, I guess you call it, and was projected at maybe 130 or so, and I said, oh, that can't be done, and through a little talk, it was reduced to maybe 30 to come over to scout out the place and see what it's like for future events. And that's where the conversation ended, and that's what I thought was gonna happen.
When they told you it'd be 30 or so people scouting it out, what was your response? I mean, did you give them permission? Did you say they could do it? Did you
Well,
tell them they had to file for a conditional use permit?
When the conversation got to 130, so I said, well, there's gonna be a traffic problem, you can't really do that. And we got down to about 30. And probably the shortcoming was I didn't ask enough questions. I thought the group was come over, an organized group, to look at the place, to size it out, to see if it was suitable. I didn't know when an event was gonna happen. And I think in the meantime, the enthusiasm got probably, I'm guessing, that Scott barbecue, so the crowd increased, that's all I know.
Yeah, well, there's certainly plenty of enthusiasm on Facebook and this website, and I noticed on the Northeast Watercross Championship website, Nature's Wilderness is listed as one of 3 sponsors. There was also something posted after the event saying, it's safe to say racers are in awe over the new venue. It's even forced some racers out of retirement. It looks like somebody's got some plans to do a lot of stuff up there. And that's not a permitted use, and it's not an approved conditional use. In fact, I don't even know if it could be an approved conditional use. But at any rate, there's no authority to do it at the present time that I'm aware of.
As the event turns out, you're correct, there's no authority.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for telling me what was discussed.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
Is that it?
Well, that's it as far as, me raising what's going on, but I guess the next question is, what happens next? Because the genie appears to be out of the bottle, and how to get the genie back in the bottle.
We're working on that.
Okay. I would also note that this is not the first issue we've had with Nature's Wellness, and not far from the first issue. And we seem to be having repeat problems up there.
I'm sorry, can you identify your last name?
Yep. OLAFSEN.
Are you on the planning board or something?
No.
You're a neighbor?
I'm a resident. I'm a mile and a half away probably, so I don't know if that qualifies me as a neighbor or not.
We tried to get him on the planning board at one point.
It qualifies you to come here today and speak.
Yeah, right. Yep. And it certainly qualified me to hear the whining of snowmobiles for about 4 hours. Even a mile and a half away, and even inside my barn.
Okay. Rusty, you got anything?
No.
Okay. Gary?
I want to answer a few of your questions. There was no money transferred. It's not an event. It was, if you counted the snowmobiles, it was probably 30, maybe 35 snowmobiles. It wasn't an event, there was no point, no money transferred. It wasn't an event, it was a gathering. It was a free barbecue. It was invited on the town. There were a lot of townsfolk there. And we did have a lot of support from townsfolk.
Well, I would note that the Facebook page says $15 to participate.
Can I see that?
Sure.
Because there was no money transferred to us.
This is the, well, maybe not to you folks at Nature's Wilderness, but this is the Northeast Watercross Championship Facebook site.
Yeah, for a watercross event, yeah.
They charged.
That was not an event. It was a gathering.
Did they charge $15?
They did not charge. There was not a penny transferred. We cooked hamburgers, hot dogs, soda, chips, and everything for all the townsfolk. Wasn't a penny taken from anybody.
Well, do you know if Northeast Watercross took money from that?
I could say no. Because all the townsfolk were parked on the edge of the road, watching it. There was no bucket, nothing. There was no money transferred on this event at all. This is October 17th.
4 days for the event.
They had an event at 4 days in New Hampshire. Did I say that?
Is it that's in New Hampshire then?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're talking about
They had 26,000 people.
two Upper Twain Road. 2 Upper Twain Road, West Baldwin. Nature's Wilderness is a sponsor. Right here.
Yeah, sponsoring the car, yeah. There's no money transfer at all.
Did you folks apply for a permit, conditional use permit to do that?
We didn't need to buy the property, it was just gathering stuff. It wasn't an
It's
event.
not, well, you have an organization that's running something up there with a lot of people, and,
There's more townsfolk involved than there was other towns.
you know, I'll rely on the selectmen and the town's attorney to say whether that's permitted use or not, but, I think there's considerable doubt that you can do it.
You use your own property. That's pretty crazy, you can't use your own property.
Well, I can't use my own property to sell cars, because I'm in the rural zone, I can't use my own property.
We're not collecting money.
The point is you're in the rural zone, no need to say anything. And there seems to be an issue in Nature's Wilderness not understanding that in the rural zone in the town of Baldwin,
There are restrictions, there are only limited permitted uses. If you go beyond that, you have to apply for conditional use permit.
Mr. Pierce?
Nope, nothing to say.
Nothing, you sure?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm giving you every chance in the world.
I think, Mr. Olson can represent me, excellently.
Okay. Brian? You got anything to say? About anything? Not just the life in general.
Oh, I guess so, but
Ma'am? You sure? No?
Well, I certainly have something to say, because it's been 2 weekends in a row that I've heard nothing but the roar of some kind of engine. I've had people drive by my house and barn going, I think, way too fast with machines on the back of their trailers. I've had horses that have been crazed in the pasture or in the barn. I've had dogs that bark all day because of the noise behind my house, and I am a neighbor. I think the lack of respect for the nature's wilderness people, that what they have for the people here in this town and certainly their neighbors is just beyond reproach. I just don't understand it. And I know I've said to this young man a couple of times, I can't imagine a better use for that property than a campground. And I believe that, and I will say that again. But nature's wilderness implies peace, solitude, and quiet to me. Between events that happened last winter when they were racing on the pond, traffic going by my house, in between my barn and my house, knowing that Senator Black Road is not only used by us, but also a lot of people older than me, if that's even possible, walking on the road. It just is beyond belief to me. And it's a lot of noise. Kirk's a mile and a half away, I'm right there. I'm looking at property to buy elsewhere because of, I really need my solitude and peace. I need neighbors I can rely on and trust, people that don't lie. And that's not what I see with Mr. Efron. He sizes you up. He figures out the best way to talk to you. He's a gambler, that was pointed out to me in the past. And he comes across as being fairly charming. But it's like having our own Donald Trump in my backyard. He does what he wants, he uses people, takes advantage of people, and I don't know what my recourse is.
For the record, what is your name?
My name's Kathleen Morgan. I'd also like to ask about the possibility of having the speed limit on Senator Black Road reduced. Because if it's 35 miles an hour, people know they can go 10 miles over that, and they're just cruising between my house and my barn.
We just went through a similar issue. We can do that. We just did a deal on Fremont Avenue, you know, where we appealed the state. The state's telling us they're a year to 15 months out before they do it. We did get a hold of the County Sheriff's Office, and they put that little speed thing down there, and we had a thing put on there telling people to slow down, and we had to say 35 miles an hour. But we have no authority to put a sign on or change a sign.
Even on a town road?
No, none.
So who
Because
do I go to?
everything is set by the state. And there's no, and the other thing is, if we change that, and it isn't set by them, there's no authority to back anything. They can't write a ticket against it because it's illegal. So we can do that. We can have a speed study done on you, but it'll be a year to a year and a half. Just being real honest with you.
And that's fine, except when I think about a 300 spot campground that's planning on going in, holding organized events, whether they're being handed money or not, using my road to go down to nature's wilderness.
This is an issue you can raise with the planning board.
Oh, I love the planning board, but they don't seem to get very far with the select people.
No, I'm saying it's impossible with this conditional structure to deal with this issue. Any other issues? Joe's shaking his head no, but, I don't know, you know, you can take, you know, there'll be a couple of hearings, planning board on the campground, and,
road that the campground is on is a public road.
Right, runs through there, but, it's possible that, we can look at what planning board.
Then I would suggest that possibly the select people and the planning board at least talk to each other about this, because I know that the campground people have been in violation of many things, and there's been no fines forthcoming.
There's no violation until a condition is created and imposed, and there's a problem after that. I'm just suggesting that it may be possible, particularly where events are being held there, to, structure a condition dealing with the effect of conducting an event there. This was clearly an event, perhaps by invitation only, perhaps, I'm not suggesting there was any violation yet. Just suggesting that it's an issue that perhaps the planning board could consider in terms of, they're going to consider all kinds of conditions on approval of the campground. And, events being scheduled there, they could structure some conditions on how those events, or how often, or how they would be conducted is possible. I don't know that it would work in practice. I don't know if the planning board has any interest in doing that. I'm suggesting that particular complaint to the planning board for them to consider whether there is a way to deal with it or not.
And if there is a way to deal with it, will the select board listen to the planning board and see that there is something in effect so that those of us that live on that road don't have to put up with this? I guess that's what I'm asking of you folks on the select board.
Every planning board meeting there is, so we know what's going on there most of the time. I mean, we observe.
Well, I'd like to state that I don't think anybody knows what's going on there, because what they tell you and what actually happens appear to be two different things. And I don't know who is responsible for staying on top of that, but I am a concerned citizen. I worry about the people on the road, and I worry about my animals, and I worry about my peace and serenity, because that means a lot to me. Thank you.
Okay. You done, Kathy?
I'm done. I feel really badly. I moved to town loving this place. I've never been a bitch. I've always worked. I've been on all the public school boards in the world, and all the public. I've done it. I wasn't going to do it. And I really am offended when someone moved into our little town from out of state, Flatlanders, and came up with fabulous suggestions.
Sorry, Gary. Sorry.
I wasn't going to do that, and here I am, being a pain in the neck. And I'm not trying to be that either. I'm just trying to figure out what's happening in a place that I love. Thank you.
Okay. Norman, we've been waiting. You've been waiting.
A couple statements of fact. I have, my friend Wes gave me a copy of correspondence that he also forwarded to me from Mike Moore. By the way, my name's Norman Blake. We've been friends for about 15 years. From correspondence from Mike Morse of Maine DEP Portland. He reminds us that the Marston's Pond is in resource protection. It's not in rural zone. This last year or two, DEP got a little more hard case and made things a bit more strict, and we haven't taken it to town meeting yet for town ratification, but the DEP modified some of the things that we submitted, and they basically issued an order that, despite the fact that the planning board tried to work hard and engage a good consultant and all that, they're going to have it their way. Anyway, Marston's Pond is resource protection, not rural. Now, going to the land use table in the land use ordinance, Town of Baldwin, in resource protection, commercial use is basically nothing no commercial use is permitted in an RP zone. Had it been an R, a rural zone, commercial outdoor recreation, as it's stated, would be a C for requiring a conditional use permit. And the other thing was eating and drinking places. And there was a portable eating and drinking place in operation there, which is not permissible in a resource protection use. Now, jumping over, and I'm gonna pick on my friend Wes a little bit here. I told him I would.
Should I take my hearing aids off? Or?
No, leave him in. I told him we'd use boxing gloves, not bare knuckles. Anyway, Article 8, conditional use permits. 8.1, a building structure or parcel of land may be employed for conditional use if the use is specifically listed in the regulations governing the district for which the use is proposed, and if a conditional use permit is approved by the planning board. Basically, that says if it ain't in the list of things, or say it different, that which is not listed and permitted is not allowed.
2.38.
Yeah, here it is. And I'll spare everybody. Application for conditional use shall be made on forms provided by the code enforcement officer, and then things go to the planning board. The only people in the town of Baldwin that can issue permission such as a conditional use are the planning board members. There has to be at least 3 of them for a quorum. We have to have a public hearing after the application, and then we meet on it. The selectmen may not issue any such permission. The code enforcement officer may not issue any such permission, and individual members of the planning board may not. We can only do this in a meeting. This did not happen. Now I'm going to pick on the selectmen. The selectmen had foreknowledge that this event was going to happen. Now, wait a minute.
No, we didn't. Let's get that right out in the open right now. I found out about it Monday morning. So don't tell me I found out about it early.
I knew it Saturday night,
When you got an email.
when I got an email after I'd gone to bed.
Okay.
And I was on the road at 5:30 to Vermont when I saw your other one that you sent at 9:30.
Yep.
And that was my first knowledge, which I immediately tried to get a hold of him. Which didn't really happen because I was in a place of no.
Well,
Well, I did pick up the email maybe an hour and a half, too. I don't.
Wes tells me, and correct me if I'm wrong, Wes, that he knew of this a week to a week and a half in advance of the event. He knew that it was in the wind.
I have talked to Jerry probably a month and a half.
There you go. Okay.
We didn't know it all. Did you know it, Jerry?
The knowledge I had was different from the event that actually happened.
Well, it's an event.
Yes.
Hang on a minute, Jerry, I'll get that. Okay. Let Tom speak.
We have not been good at enforcement. People were digging in the town road all summer. Have you signed this memorandum yet?
We've signed it and we're waiting for their insurance.
Okay. The only reason that memorandum exists is because I was a pain in the butt with you guys. That's the only reason. I think we need a little bit more attentiveness to enforcement. The land use ordinance of Baldwin is one of the most lenient of all the towns around here. And for 3 decades, I worked hard to keep it that way. I don't think it's too much to enforce major things. I don't think, as Glenn Haynes used to say, I don't think we need to follow a truckload of 2x4s and sheetrock, a pickup truckload just to see where it's going in town. That's not the kind of town we are. But there's major stuff going on here. I am having serious questions about whether I want to continue serving this town if all I'm doing is playing with myself over in the planning board room and working hard with the other members to come up with reasonable ordinances, reasonable conditions on things, when the selectmen are very reluctant to enforce things. You got an ordinance, it ain't worth diddly unless it's enforced. And I'm not happy with you. I've probably talked too much. That'll be it for now.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Clarifying question, really of David. Once somebody declares their intent to go into business, can they then go into business without getting a conditional use permit? Can they do those things that they say they want to do as a business and without the permit? Does it make a difference if they're asking for money or not asking for money? If they're just practicing or they're getting paid to practice?
Well, if a permit is required, if approval is required before you undertake an activity, then you're in violation if you undertake that activity before you get your permit. On the other hand, I think there's some factual questions raised here as to what actually happened, and I think those need to be resolved before, if actions to be taken, the code officer may need to issue a notice of violation. That doesn't, put it, that can be, that doesn't necessarily require a fine, but it does require some action by the code officer, and that's his decision in the first instance, whether he feels that there was in fact a violation or not. And it could be a warning, or it could be an order to do something, or to not do something in the future, or not do something until such time as the approval of the campground or whatever the use is, skimming contest, or whatever it is, that can be in the order, and the order can result in an enforcement action in court if in fact that turns out to be necessary. But right now, I think that decision does not need to be made, or should not be made tonight.
I'm asking a sort of a more general question. I'm not asking about the specific activity on Sunday. I was in Hartsville all day, whatever. I'm asking a specific question because this seems to come up with this particular applicant, that I hear things. I hear rumors that, they had people there renting campers all summer. And then the answer comes back, those were just friends and family, and it was for free. And I don't know whether that happened or not. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened on Sunday either. But I'm just wondering if I say, let's take it me. If I say I'm going to run a agribusiness, and then I don't come in for a permit, and I have friends and family stop in, and I have them riding pigs or whatever you do in an agribusiness. Grow marijuana recreationally. I'll allow them to hoe the rows. Can I do that? And isn't there, and then after you've started to come in for a permit, after I've started to come in for a permit, can I just open my business for free. It's just practice, mind you. It's my land, I can do what I want on my land, except that I have said I'm gonna start a business, and I've declared it by coming into the planning board with papers saying, I'm going to start a business, this is the general outline. Can I do that and then be doing the business for free over here?
Well, it may be, a use that's being established, which is not necessarily a business, and it may or may not make a difference whether money is changing hands or whatever. And, the ordinance speaks of uses of property, it doesn't really speak to, commercial uses versus non-commercial uses. And if you, I put it, if a campground were for underprivileged children, and
Yep.
no money, and it was run by a nonprofit, it shouldn't really make a difference under the ordinance whether any money changes hands or not. On the other hand, skimming the pond or whatever, if that's what the issue is, that's, you don't have to weigh that in.
I don't want that to be the issue. Because we got all kinds of little issues here. I don't want to nail it down to one. I'm asking a general question. I have had parties of between 50 and 100 people over the course of the last 10 or 15 years, half a dozen times. And nobody's ever said that I needed a permit to do that. And I think people ought to be able to have family reunions and weddings and funerals and so forth on their own land. And I'm asking for an interpretation, a general interpretation from which we can get to the specific.
Well, I don't think that it's appropriate for me to do that at this forum. I will give advice to the code officer or the code officer if he needs advice on that issue. The bottom line is that, you're a member of the planning board, and at some point, you'll have an opportunity to decide whether the use is approved or not, and on what terms it's approved. And, I think at that point, planning board can make clear, how to put it, that, the fact that money, doesn't change hands is probably not going to make a difference in terms of the regulations that are going to be imposed on this or any other campground. And, that's an issue for another night.
Can I ask one more very quick question, just because I wanna know?
Can you wait just a minute, cause
Of
Gary's
course.
been very patient.
Let her go ahead.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Just quickly wondering if, I know that Gary went down and bought a fire engine, well, there were sirens happening on Sunday too. My initial thought was, gee, I better get all the animals off the road, somebody's hurt. I do believe it was coming from the campground. Is that a legal thing that should or should not happen? Because that's frightening to hear as well.
Would you go out on Sunday? No. I don't know, that's probably something that we have to take and
Okay.
go through a condition. I mean, that'd be a planning board issue, a condition that they put on somewhere down the road.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Gary, you're all set?
Yeah.
Okay, Wes, have you anything to say?
No.
Okay. Debbie?
No.
You sure? Yeah, see your voice in the. Okay. All right, anybody else? This is what we're here for, to listen.
One more thing, I do wanna clarify, it was not an event, it was a gathering, and there was no money transferring. I can have Steve Reynolds from Rochester Motorsport, anybody that you want that was there to testify, there was no money transferred on that day. It wasn't an event. And to cover less, I did tell him there was gonna be 30, maybe a little bit more people. He did not give me permission to do it, I did ask I do plan on having more events. I did put an ad on my Facebook, invite people for a free barbecue. They showed up. That's why it was so big. But Wes did not give me permission. I'm not sure, everybody seems to be stuck in an event and real.
I mean, I just don't know,
Right.
you made a distinction, I just wondered.
Well, everybody keeps calling it an event, those shit's friends gathering on personal
I
property.
call it an event when I don't have a wedding in the family.
Yeah.
You know,
Right, and
I don't know the
nobody
difference.
wants it.
Yeah.
Right, we're within the noise ordinance, correct? Is there a noise ordinance in the town of Baldwin?
There is not, there's no noise ordinance in Baldwin, that's correct.
Okay.
However, there is a very, very open-ended things that, standards that the planning board must consider. And the other is, one of them is the effect of noise on adjacent and neighboring properties or something to that. I find it, but it's basic, it's pretty open-ended, but no, there's nothing that says you can't make this kind of noise between this time and that time. You can run your skidder all night, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, you can run sirens on your property, there's nothing that says you can't do that.
I don't believe there is. However, I think,
Because everybody has an agenda against what we're doing, there's too many personal issues
It's not,
with
it's
what's
not
going on.
personal.
not that they have an
It is
agenda
personal,
against
it's
what
very
you're doing.
personal.
Okay, you can make that contention, and that's okay. I
We
say
can
it's
call
not,
people
and that's as
flatlanders,
far as
we
we
can
let's go.
contention.
Let's not.
No, that's as far as we could get with that, because we're just gonna be,
Yeah, back and forth, yeah.
That's why I've been quiet.
Yeah.
I believe Mr. Laurie told us a number of years ago that, even any use is in town is subject to some of the conditions, noise, glare, dust, and other things that the planning board is required to deal with. Do you recall anything like that, David?
Sorry, I'm not sure what context you're talking about. Are you saying that, any property can be regulated? Well, that's not really true, but, if you're saying, the planning board in establishing a new use could regulate something, yes.
Yeah, I have it here. Article 9, the performance standards contained in this article shall apply to all uses and activities in the town unless otherwise specified, whether or not specific approval or a permit is required. That's 9.1. And
Are you reading from the zoning ordinance?
from the land use ordinance,
The zoning portion.
yeah. But this is, I'll show it to you. Performance standards shall apply to all uses and activities in the town. It's pretty broad.
Yeah.
And dust fumes, vapors, glare, industrial odors. You're making me rely on my memory here.
You're making me rely on my memory.
That too. Actually, to be honest, I'm not finding noise in there. Glare, dust fumes, vapors, gases, access property. Talks about sewage disposal. Earth moving. And then we get into another article for specific uses, so, okay. Take that back. Sure.
I was wondering if Gary could tell us if there are any more gatherings planned at this point.
We are planning on it, and we are asking permission to try to make the right steps. I talked to the main board service, who was gonna contact the planning board about future real events.
Are there any other events or gatherings planned as we sit here today?
There's nothing planned, there's
Nothing planned, nothing scheduled.
nothing scheduled.
Okay. Again, if I could just restate Article 8.1, parcel land may be employed for a conditional use if the use is specifically listed in the regulations covering the district for which the use is proposed. And we don't specifically list these so-called gatherings. I think it's a interesting use of the term.
It will, as I understand it, this is going to be an accessory use to the campground when the campground gets approved.
It may be.
And it's not going to be allowed as a principal use of the property to have these, races there, I would expect in the future. It's going to occur, it could qualify, my judgment, qualify as an accessory use, to have, this or some other events, as accessory uses, they can be regulated by the planning board as the time, place, and manner.
And I assume we can preemptively list what accessory uses we would expect to be dealing with?
You can certainly impose conditions on what, kinds of conditional uses can be, accessory uses can be allowed in the future, and impose conditions on those.
Okay.
On those accessory uses. Yeah, I don't think that would be a legal problem to do it, other than to figure out what they're going to be and
Think ahead, yeah.
conditions on it. I know when Nature's Wilderness came in to begin with, there were, expressions of concern from the planning board that they were basically, by going ahead and doing physical development of a property, they were basically locking in what is going to be the ultimate, approval of the uses to go there, because you'd be faced with things on the face of the earth. They will necessarily put in buildings and the like, and you'd be, which they have a right to do, in anticipation of getting approval, and then they're going to come in for approval after the fact. The other side of the coin, though, is when they do something like this, they generate new issues the planning board might not have thought of before and impose conditions upon in the future. And at least this gives you the opportunity to see if you can fashion some remedy for the complaints which are being voiced tonight about what occurred, and deal with it so that it's not a question later on of whether it's just a person inviting their friends in for a barbecue or whether it's something else. And so there's two sides of the coin, one of which certainly has benefited Nature's Place in terms of its ability to move forward in the meantime without requiring approval, without required approvals. But on the other side of the coin, when they go for their approvals, there may be additional issues that the planning board's going to feel like they should deal with in terms of that approval.
Will you be with us on Thursday? I haven't kept track of all the stuff between you and David Strauss.
I thought it was November 8th.
Oh, okay, November 8th. Okay.
I don't know. I think that's the date I was told.
Oh, yes, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm planning on being there then.
Excellent.
All right, if there's nobody else that wants to speak, I'm gonna make a motion that we go back into executive session. MSRA 405-6A to discuss hearing of complaints in public officials, and you'll hear a second. Second, we go into executive session one more time. All those in favor?
What's gonna happen when you come back? Just adjourn?
Just adjourn.
So probably unless we wanna sit around for the ceremony,
It's probably gonna be a while.
it ain't worth it.
No.
Red
Okay.
Sox started 10 minutes ago.
Huh?
Red Sox started.
Well, I would be going home if I was you, Kurt.
There's no guarantee that they won't try to amend all the ordinances and come back.
No, nothing is gonna be